Okay, so good morning everybody and once again welcome back in today's class. Day number 20, ending on the week 4, okay, and starting a new topic called the change management. So till now what we discuss in our journey, we see three type of services: operate, maintain, and improve. We see if I take you on the back slides for a minute. Let come on this part, not here. This one. So we see operate, that how I can go in the market and people or business or users can buy my services. Maintain, if someone buy that, how I can maintain that, how I can give that service. And improve is something a next step, because if you see anything, it is not foolproof in the first part. It always required improvement. Either you take your cooking skills, your education skills, your qualification, your skill set, your learning, your sports, your dance, anything you see, it's required improvement. And improvement is the one thing which is not happen in one day. It's a long journey. Minimum you have to wait for 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. Even though if you take some medicine, it takes 3 days to improve your body. So like doctor say, you have to do antibiotic course of the 5 days. Why? Because they know that after 3 days or 4th day, the medicine actually start helping you and improving your health. And that is the reason change was and release was the part of service transition in ITL V3. It was not in operation. This was the question has asked to me in an interview, that why change management is part of transition, not the operation. Because in operation you quickly fix the things, but in transition you are transitioning from one step to another step. You're changing the behavior, changing the functionality, you're upgrading the functionality, removing the functionality. Is called change, is basically called in this particular domain. So we've done this part. Maintenance part is done, and now we're on the improvement part. In improvement, two topics are there: change and release. Number one, there is a myth in the market that change and release both are interchangeable concept. No, they both are stand alone or two separate processes in the ITL world as well. If you go and check the ITL 4 practices, you will find that these are the two different concepts. Change is, if I talk about a layman language, change is something which you are going to put in the production. If you are changing a dot in production, it is also a change. If you are removing a dot in production, it is also a change. I remember when I was I took ITL foundation training or ITL service transition training. So my trainer told me change definition means any change in the state of a CI is called the change, because you are going to be raised. You raise a change on a CI, and if I'm raising a change on the CI, I'm changing the state. I'm changing something in that CI. But my definition, my experience says anything which you deploy in deploy in production is a change management. Then there's a question come. What is the difference between change and the request? Or what's the difference between standard change and the request management? There are a lot of blogs, a lot of points, a lot of people have put it something on the LinkedIn or the internet. It is very tough to say that this is a change or this is a request. I need access of a SharePoint. Is it a standard change? It is a request. So it's a standard, it's a request. But I saw a customers where they consider this as a change as well. So no proper definition here that what should be part of change. Sorry, what should be part of request or change. Like I was doing a checking or reading something on the LinkedIn that there's a search happen that which come first, it's a hen or it's an egg. So up to you, what do you think? A glass has a water. What do you think? It's a half full, half empty. So you cannot say 100% it's a half full. You cannot say it's a half empty. It is the thought process, it is a perception, it is a use case, it is a business scenario which helps you decide that it should be go in the request or it should go in the change management. Okay, so we have two different topics. One is change and one is release. Release is very small, maybe 2 days work, but change is bigger than incident and problem. It's much bigger than incident and problem, I can say. Okay, so next few days, I strongly recommend don't take any off. If you're taking any off, please make sure you go to the missing day video at your side. Okay, so now this is what we have today to discuss. A lot of things. If you see that I have many slides for change. So here we can see this thing, then we can go role, then we go for the life cycle, then we go for the different life cycle, then approval metrics, and here. Total 4 slides, but a lot of concepts is there. So we discuss what is change. Change is something which we are deploying in production. Anything which you're deploying in the production or removing from the production. Or if I say any changes you're doing in the production environment should be go as a change. And the process, a formal process, is called the change management. In change, we have a planning. In change, we have approval. What is difference in change and release? Release is considered a separate entity, number one, and change is a part of release. Or I can say change fall under release. Okay, because in the release, when we say release means it is a combination of changes. One or more changes when we're sending in production together, it called as release. In release, we have a build, we have a test, and we have a release. We do the building part, that coding has been done. We test it, UAT has been done. And finally, we release it. Again, very thin line between these two, how to differentiate this part. And again, there are very less organizations, at least which I saw, are using the release management up to extent. They said no, we can work on the change only. We can use the change and we can work on that part. Okay, so this is what the difference between release and the change. Okay, that's the one thing. Now let's understand that how this change management work with a different modules, because it is a very core process, very basic process. If you remember that in the beginning, I take example of IPC, incident, problem, and change. And these are the triangle. Incident, problem, change are work in a triangle, not in a circle. They work in a triangle. So you are not sure that from where it has been starting. It can start from change. It can start from incident. It can start from problem. So now if you see this diagram, change management number one can be raised from the service request portal as well, SRM. Now you say, Atul, how this is possible? Remember a concept called the standard changes. Standard changes are the one which can be raised via request management and can be raised by the end user or the business users. And these are called the pre-approved changes. We will discuss this in detail. Type of changes we will discuss in detail. So it means it has direct relationship with the SRM. Number one. Incident and problem, to fix, to resolve, to cause changes, 100% participated with that. Incident, if there's a there can be incident which is caused by the change. There is the incident which has been fixed by the change. The same thing we see in the problem as well, right? We raise normal change, standard change, emergency change in the problem management. This is what this. And if you go in the incident in the related, not in the related, related records, in the tab you find change raised, fixed by change, caused by change. It means change is directly working with this. In release, we build, we execute, and we test. Collection of changes, number of changes will be clubbed together, bundled together, and then they are moved. In knowledge, if anything goes wrong in the change, where you update in the knowledge article. You can put your implementation plans, your backward plan in the knowledge management, which change can be used. CMDB, I can create a new CI by raising a change. I can update a CI by raising a change. When I say new update means it can be update in the state of status. It can be operational, non-operational, retirement, absent, stolen, anything can be done here. OK. So in short, this is what it work together. These are different things which work together with the change. Other than portfolio, it is not, it means in the portfolio it is not directly relating. Rest all modules are related with this part. Mainly these three are the major one, or these four. Okay. Now this is the first part. Second part, let's understand the type of changes. Okay. Don't feel sleep, please. Okay. And who are there now? Is still missing. Okay. Okay. Now there are type of changes. Like in the incident, we have type. Normal incident, major incident, and there is a concept called the security incident as well. In the problem, there's a no type. Problem task has a type, but problem don't have a type. But change has a type. I'll give an example to understand these three concepts. Let's say Surbhi want to buy a bike, a scooter. Okay. She's young now, she's bachelor and she started her college. She want to buy a scooter costing near about 1 lakh. Okay. She's just completing her 12th now and she said to his father that Papa, I need one scooter to go to college. Okay. Again, being a father is always, we want to be take care of our child with the best and possible things. Father says, okay, let me think, because it's a high amount. So we need to be arranged, you need to be think the savings, what's upcoming. So she put the proposal, she raised a change. She checked with the dealer that what offer is going on, what color she want, why she want, what she want. Because when you raise a change, there's a concept called the 7R. 7R is the concept of this particular change. Okay. Let me show you here. Even I forget now. 7R of this one. The reason she want to buy this, what are the risks involved, what are the resources required, who raised the change request, what is the return rate of return of investment, and then who is responsible for creating, testing, and implementing the change. These 7 hours she done. She put a proposal to father. That proposal called the RFC, request for change, mainly request for change. These are two things, RFC and RFP. RFP stands for request for proposal, which we send to our customers that I am happy to take your project and this is the bid I'm putting it. Okay, so she raised a RFC. Okay, in the evening, in the dinner done, Surabhi father talked to her mother and said that Surabhi want to buy need a bike or need a scooter. What your thought? Being a mother, she started putting up a lot of problem statements. If she get a bike, we can go to the market. It is easy for her to be travel. It's too hot. It's some cold. It's required. Overall, she evaluate everything. Risk she evaluate. She evaluate the benefit. She saw that okay, she is still young, still time for the marriage. It is a good option. We can buy. And then both husband and wife give a stamping. Yes, we are going to buy it. This is called the approval. They go to the showroom because this R&D has been done by Surabhi already. So we take them to the showroom and then say, okay, get that sales guy. I want to buy this scooter. Ma'am, these are the features. Okay. Then father say, okay, get one black color. Okay, sir, you go and do the billing part. I'm getting your scooter ready. Okay. All this formality has been done. This is called the deployment, which you're doing the production now. You're not going just for the time pass. You're going for the buying it. It's a deployment is going on. Billing done, scooter ready. You get the gate pass and you take the scooter out from the showroom. This is the change done in the production deployment. One thing which is important that this particular process take the 15 to 20 days. Because we as a Indian, we always believe if you want to buy something, then buy some occupations day. It can be a birthday, it can be anniversary, it can be any festival. So this process takes 20 days. This is a normal change. This is a normal change because normal change is one which go with the 2-3 level of approval. First father approve, then mother approve, then it go. Okay, there's a concept in a change called the CAB. CAB. If you see here, CAB. It can be called as a change advisory board. It can be called as a change authorized board. But if you ask me now, for me, it should be a CAAB. Change advisory and authorization board. Because they advise as well and they authorize as well. We will discuss this part. Okay, so this is about the normal change. Now, what is the standard change? Again, Surabhi is young, going college. She want to buy books. Go to the bookstore, get the book, pay the amount. She did not ask anybody's approval. She assumed that I can buy the books up to this amount. 400, 500, 1000 rupees, I can buy the books. And it's required. College has been just started, so she needs the book. Then what is the definition of standard change? Standard change is number one, they're raised with the template. They're pre-approved changes and they're low risk in the nature. I'm saying low risk. I'm not saying no risk. Because there's a no concept of the no risk. Everything has a risk. Everything has a risk. If you take LIC, doesn't mean you will not die. It means you are just minimizing your risk, even not zero. You're going equal to zero, but not zero. This is what the standard change says. She want to buy some outfit. She go to the showroom, she go to the shop and buy it. This is a standard change. Now what is the emergency change? Standard change has no approval required. Remember these words because these three things or these points are important from the examination part. What is the emergency change now? Emergency change which cannot wait so long. Maybe I can say not more than hour or 2 hour it can be wait. Example, you're going somewhere and you see the fire. Will you wait for 2 days and then you call to the ambulance or fire brigade? No. Which required immediate deployment. But in emergency change, a step, a process is called the E-cap is must. Someone from business must give you the approval to go ahead for this particular change is the important point here. That reason it is called the E-cap. Emergency cap. There was a cases when I was working as a change manager, team called me in the Sunday afternoon. Atul, we need your exception approval to proceed with this change in the production. Why? Because we done some changes which is not working as expected, and to fix that we need another change. Nobody is available from business. Can you give us approval? Then I said, okay, I'm giving you approval, please proceed it. So as a change manager, I have a full authority to make sure or to say, yes, these changes can be go in the production deployment without anybody else approval is required here. This is what the emergency changes. There is a difference in these three changes state as well. Normal follow 7 states, standard follow 3 states, emergency follow 5 states. Like this. Any doubt? Any question? Tejas, Samira, and Survey.
No, this I mean the concept is clear. Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, if I go further, let's discuss a little bit on the data structure, table format. Okay. Again, change is the table which has been extended from the task table. So no doubt on that part. So table here. And search for the change. This. Mainly 2 tables are the important table. Change request and change task. I'm not sure that what is this change phase. I'm checking it first. Maybe something else. Okay. Change request and change task both are extended from the task table. Number 1. Change task is coming in the related list of the change. Not directly we use in the as a related record, as a related list. So if I come down and change is the heaviest table, I can say. Still 107 fields are there. But if you see the change form, it is the most heaviest form. And we avoid. I'm saying avoid. I'm not saying it's not a good practice. We avoid to put any new field on the change form because it will make the change form heavy. Show schema. Okay, so here we are. I'm not sure what is this IMAC. I'm not sure what table it is. Change metric or what is IMAC is there. So we are mainly on this particular part. I remove this. Change request, which get extended from the task. A reference table. This one. CI, standard change template, workflow, location, because change is the module which has a lot of concept in it. It's not like a normal next, next, next and done. It's like a next, then what to do in that next section. Like if you remember the game of Mario. What is the game of Mario? That Mario is going, he need to hit some wall to get some spinach, to get some mushrooms. He need to hit some place to get some more coins. And he need to be jump very high on the flag so that he can or she can get the all the good points. This is what is change. In every phase, there's a lot of things we have to be understand. It's more of the understanding than the implementation part. Okay, so we can see that these are the reference table and these are the referencing table. Mainly my point to be bring this only two things. Number one, change table extended from the task and change task is there, which has been referencing in the change one. So you can see change, incident, conflict is one of the table. Mom says yes, father said no. It's a conflict. How to proceed further. Then problem change phases. Maybe it's like a authorize or assess is a phases, different phases. Risk details are there. Proposals are there. So there's a lot of tables in the change management which we are using or which are working with connection of the change. Maybe directly, maybe indirectly. Like this is a concept of the change model. A new concept introduced by ServiceNow, I guess in the London or after that release. And widely told by ServiceNow to use this concept now. Like CSGM is a new one. Something similar is the change model as well. Why? This is what we are going to be discuss. What is change model? Why it is very important? What is the principle of this change model? That why it's come? Like we see CSGM. We know that there's a 10 founding principles. In the same concept, why change model is there when we already have a change management in the concept? So we have to be understand that as well. Okay, to proceed further on that part, let me come on the little bit on the slides here. Okay, so this thing done, this thing done, this thing done. Let's discuss about the rules. And these rules are a little confusing one. Okay, user admin, and let's say about the rule. In change management, there are many rules. Many rules are available in the change management. 6 you are able to see, but it has some idle rule as well in combination. Okay, let me come here to show this part. See, major rule, if I say one is a change manager, one is change requester, one is change approver, one is cab manager, and one is change implementer. These are the roles which available in market or used by customers. Okay, so these are the rules which are available in market and used by the customers. Now, what is this rule means? Change manager is the one who mainly accountable for day-to-day change operation. Anything fail, anything proved, pass, change follow the right life cycle is the change manager accountability. In day-to-day, that is, I mentioned day-to-day means it's from the operational part that user is accountable. Like I worked as a change manager, so I have a lot of responsibilities. Make sure change go in the cab meeting, make sure cab happen on the time, make sure every change has a proper step of or the execution plan mentioned, make sure every change gets timely approved. If any change get failed, I have a PIR on the top of that. I have a report on the top of that. I have to be take further action on the top of that. So this is what I do as a change manager. Change requester. Anybody who submit the change is called the change requester. Even though an end user can submit a change, but that can be done with the help of the catalog items only. Now change approver. In this bike scenario, mother was the one who is the approver. Initial approval. So when we say about the change approval, it can be technical approval. It can be functional approval. It can be process approval. Now you will understand the fundamental of CSDM, that why I bring the CSDM. A change has been raised on let me show you this one if I can get not here. CSDM का नहीं, wait, let me show you here, because this is what now to understand that why we have this CSDM on the place. Let's say this one. अरे यार, जब चाहिए तो कुछ अच्छा मिलता भी नहीं है. I want to speak image. नहीं, ठीक है, चलो छोड़ो, let's come here. So this is my CIs. Remember, if I'm raising a change on a CI, who will approve this CI? It will be going a life cycle like this. That what is the application service? This application is related to be technical service. This technical service has to be technical service offering. So all these guys get involved in the approval mechanism. This is what the fundamental of the purpose of CSDM. Everything should be derived from the data model. It's very high level in a one sentence I just told you. But practically when we implemented, I implemented this for one of the customer. From the CI, I'm getting it the application service relationship. From the application, I'm getting the technical service. So from the technical service, I'm getting the technical service offering. And who is managing that offering? I get his name. And then I put that name in the approval list. This is what this particular fundamental come into the picture. That why we need the CSDM on the place. Okay. So mainly when I talk about the change approval, I'm talking about the technical approvals mainly, or the change manager approval. And then we have a cab. If it is a normal change, it must go in the cab. Now again, from business, things are vary. If you work in any of the banking domain, if you work for any of the banking client, you will surprised to know that in a week, they're sending more than 2000 changes in the production. Do you think that 2000 changes will be approved by the CAP? Not possible. Not possible. Then companies or customers had to build some mechanism that what change should go in the CAP. Like this is standard practice. All the high level changes, high risk changes must go in the CAP. Right? And this CAB is different than disapproval. CAB is the top authority. Like in India, that someone find guilty and they get the death sentence. They approach to Prime Minister or maybe President that I'm putting a petition, I want this. If they reject it, it has been rejected. This is what the CAB meaning here. If CAB reject the change, it's nobody in the process who can override and can proceed further. It's not possible case. And that is the reason this change approval fall in the assess phase and this change approval fall in the authorize phase. That is the reason I'm saying it should be now CAAB, not CAB CAB, because they advise it. Go ahead with the change or not, and they what are the risk and impact of the change, and they authorize it. Yes, happy to go it. This is what the CAB manager, the person who facilitates that particular stuff, is called the CAB manager. And who are the part of CAB? Change manager, my technical teams, or my business, actual business users who are managing the business or technical things or the functional thing or application things on the business side, and my technical teams, technical leads, not team, technical leads should be part of this particular CAB. Okay, and then change implementer, who help you to plan and finally help you deploy the changes in the production. Not like in our problem management, we have a problem coordinator. In some of the instances where I work, I found that teams or customers are using the change coordinator as well. So manager has a high authority, coordinator has a less authority. If there's a lot of changes going, then definitely they need 2 or 3 person. So they have a coordinator's role as well. And it's up to you, up to business, that what they want. Okay. So now if I come to ServiceNow area, so these are the rule. Number 1, change manager, who is having overall accountability. Change manager is the one who can override anybody approval, who can approve on anybody behalf as well without impersonating that user. Like घर में we have family of 4 people. I want to buy something. If father say yes, he can override anybody's approval. Mom say no, father say yes, it's override. Go and buy it. This is what the change manager do. He or she can move the changes in any other state. Definitely with the proper validation, but he is the super authority in the system. Then CAB manager, who run the CABs, who facilitate the CABs. He is the one who is accountable to create the CAB workbench, CAB definitions, and run the CAB on time. So now see, I'm putting one more word, CAB workbench is a one concept where to be discussed. Then only read, done by this, only write, done by this. And this is a role which is for the scheduling the changes, where you can go and check and manipulate the schedule. It means one more concept I'm adding is called the scheduling. Schedule assistant is there basically. And finally, who can view the changes with the, who can move the view in a different perspective. View means that how the form will look like. So if you have this role, then it can be doable part. We will see this thing, that what is the meaning of the view here I am saying. So these 6 rules are the major one. You will not find anything called change approver. You will not find anything called change requester. Why? Because anyone who has an ITL role can approve the change. If you want, you can search it like approver. Approve user. This is what. The role required approval user approver can be modified request for approval routed to them. There is a fee associated with this role. Yes, it is a licensed version. It is not free. Okay, so try one thing. Maybe not today. Monday when we'll go for the demo as well, try this thing. Create a user which has a ITL role, assign a change or add that user in the approval mechanism and see that he or she can approve or not. And then create a user with this specific role only. This is what the approver. I'm putting a change approval because I'm using the change context. But if you are giving this role to a user, he or she can approve changes, request, and problem as well. See, under my approval, he can see everything. Okay. Then this has been done and we are here. Congress service now, sorry. Oh. Let me come here. So this is the one which we discuss. So we discuss about the manager read write cap done change admin. Okay. Now one thing is important here is that nobody in change management. When I say nobody, even system. Nobody in the change management can update the change model once it has been used. What this mean? We did not discuss as of now the change model, but just read this line and then we'll explain when we go for the change model. If I am using a change model and I want to, by mistake, I pick up model A, but I want to go to model B, then there is no one who can change the model with the existing change number. You have to be cancel it and then you can use a new change model. And the second point, nobody can delete the standard change template. It can be retired, but cannot be deleted from the system. Even not the change admin, sorry, change manager, or even not the system admin can do this thing. This is important point to be remembered. Okay. Being a system admin, I can work almost on everything. Admin, I'm not saying the change admin, I'm saying the admin from the system part. I can create change, I can read change, I can update change, I can approve on as approver, I can update definition, change cap definition, I can remove the cap definitions. This thing I can do. I can propose something new from the change approval, change standard change perspective. Okay, so on the mota side, one more concept. Let me give you a thought. When we discuss about change, not here. If you see these things, we are going to be discuss all these things like this: change conflict, change workflow. Okay, then cab workbench, risk calculation, change approval, blackout window, maintenance window are the one which are part of this change management. So we will go step by step. So like if I say that as an admin, system admin, I can create a change, I can read a change, I can update a change, I can approve a change, I can delete a change. I can fill the risk assessment. This is what you are seeing. This. I can update that as an admin. I can work on the maintenance and the blackout window. I can work on the change model transition and the conditions. It's not the wait, let me check one more thing. Configuration, change states. Let me copy and I'll add one more model for that. Change policy. Okay. As the admin, I can work on the change approval policy. Okay. Then I can work on the CAP workbench. Create the CAP definition, update the CAP definition, delete the CAP definitions. I can do. Even as the admin, I can work on the change model as well. This one. Create a new model, retire it, make it active false as a model, work on the conditions, transitions, conditions. So I can work on that part. This is a very much important. Okay, clear everybody. Don't feel sad. It is just a start. The concept. अरे है ना तो बोलो कम से कम.
हाँ, nice.
हाँ, nice तो it is always
It's too
nice.
much too.
It is not actually too much. It's required a step-by-step execution actually. Nothing much on that.
Correct.
Okay.
No, change is big actually itself.
Yes.
The change module. So.
Yeah. So this thing done, this thing done, this thing done, and this thing done now. Okay. Let's come here. This has been done. Now come on this part. Before this, let me put you a thought. A change can be raised with the multiple ways, right? A change can be raised from incident. A change can be raised from the problem. A change can be raised with the hello service catalog, that is your request item. A change can be raised from the third party integration. A change can be raised from the CMDB as well, configuration item as well. Multiple ways are there to create a change. Now, what type of change will be raised? It's depend. Normal, standard, and emergency. But let's put some time here. We still have 5-7 minutes. Let's put some time. That why ServiceNow introduce a concept called the change model. Why it is be required? If you see in ServiceNow, the word model has a very big impact. Maybe you don't know, but the history something of CMDB is like a model only. See. Hardware software model, service model. The concept is that my customer says, or customer reach out to ServiceNow, hey boss, I'm raising a application changes. Why I need a technical approval here? I'm raising application changes. It's going to be impact on the application. Why I need a technical approval? बात तो सही है. But problem क्या है? That I cannot create a different workflow. And how I can identify that it is application change or it's a technical change? Technical वाले गए. Why I'm getting the application on approval when it's a technical change on the server level? बात उनकी भी सही है. Because there's a no way that I can create 2, 3, 4 workflows. But how that workflow will attach to a change? That is a major problem. Maybe in the application change, I don't want the CAP approval. Then what to do? In the technical, I want a CAP approval, but no technical approval I required. Then what to do? Then ServiceNow build a concept called the model. And the fundamental principle they use here is called fit for purpose. Fit for purpose. Let me show you here. If there's some definition available. नहीं, यहाँ आते हैं. Change model in that what is the basic need? What is the basic principle of this? अरे नहीं यार कुछ मांगो तो. Okay. So ServiceNow bring a concept called the fit for purpose. हाँ ये रहा, ये दो concept में ढूंढ रहा था ये वाले. That boss, okay, I'm using ServiceNow, that's good, that's fine, I'm happy. But it is not fitting in my purpose. I need something which can fit in my purpose and I can use it. So by using this 3-word fundamental, these 3-word principle, ServiceNow introduced a concept called the change model. Now model means I can define the flow, I can define the transition as per the model. Chai banani hai, separate model. You want to make a rice is a separate model. You want to make a dosa is a separate model. Simple. 3 different models, 3 different workflow. No confusion at all. Maybe for the tea, I can put water, milk, tea, sugar combined. For the rice, I can put water, rice, ghee, salt. My work done. Why I need unnecessary transitions if I can avoid it? It was not possible with the normal way which ServiceNow provided. Interceptor way I'm telling you. It is only possible with the help of the fit for purpose. Why? Because when you use any model, the associated workflow get attached. Associated transition models get attached. And then it is easier work. In the normal change, I can bypass everything if I'm raising a change with the help of the change model. But that is not possible with the interceptor part. So in this change model, ServiceNow bring these few things. Like when I say the few things means they introduce few concepts. हाँ देखो ये fit for purpose and fit for use. Yes, this is the second word I'm waiting for. Fit for use. भाई purpose तो हो गया. अब is it be useful for me or not? Like application people came and say I don't want technical approval. I don't want the cab approval. ठीक है, you raise your model and use it. Technical says I need 5 extra approval. Okay, you raise your model and use. So purpose भी हो गया, fit भी हो गया मेरे use के लिए. Because now I can make changes. If I make a change in the application model, it will only impact on the application, not the infra changes. So it is fitting for my use as well now. This is the 2 main fundamental principle that ServiceNow introduced this concept. And also remember when ServiceNow introduced some new concepts, there must be some principle. There must be some fundamental need here. Like CSGM, why it's come into the picture? Because of the common reporting problem was there. There was no standard model. There's no one model you're using. So something they come up here. Fit for purpose, fit for use. Freely you can make any changes in your transition. You can make any changes in your model. You can make any changes in your workflows. And change model is a low code application. Sorry, low code module, not application, low code module. Where this flow is required, still a lot of coding skills are required. But this is like a drag and drop and normal understanding, basic understanding. Work can be done for you. Okay, so we are discussing that in this particular thing, ServiceNow introduced the change model, change flow. You can use the transition, state transitions. Okay, then we can use some standard change catalog as well. And rest concepts like conflict, risk can be put it here. But this concept will change the complete behavior of raising a change. If I come here and show you on my screen and I click here, change, create new. This is the model page, not the interceptor. If I want that it should be interceptor, then I have to go and make a change in the property so that it should go into the interceptor, not here. Something similar question came in my exam. If you are having a change model but property is off, where the change will go? When you click on the create new, it will go to the interceptor. Clear, everybody? Any doubt? Yes or no? हाँ आज के लिए डन हो गया बस, ज्यादा नहीं, ठीक है. So now Monday we will start with the life cycle. Okay. This concept. And then we will pick up in the creation, we'll pick up the change model with the both sides, with the interceptor, with this. We go with the demo step by step.
Okay.
And,
okay. We'll
and
have
then we'll understand. Yes. Okay. Tejas and Samir, any doubt, any question?
Start the module like and we'll.
Now important, I can understand. Now important part is that during the weekend, try to read about the change management from the ITL perspective, so that you get a little bit more understanding that what is the change, what is the states, what they have included. You will not find kind of a conflict detection, risk assessment, not much in the ITL. You will not find, because there is a concept given by ServiceNow. Tool is giving that. But I'm saying you understand the process. Okay. 5 days from Monday to Friday, we will be mainly concentrating on these 2 slides. ये दो में बहुत कुछ है बस. 2 will be completed for this part. Okay, I mentioned approval policy here. So what a concept I remember, I just put in this unmatched or unstructured slides for me. Okay, chaliye, we'll stop the recording and take a quick attendance now.